This is the Velvet Door, where beyond the door, we discuss all things that are worthy. Hurry up before it's too late. Hey. Welcome back. Good to see you all back right here at and beyond the Velvet Door. And today we're going to get into something that I have been talking about for past few years now. But this movie, as you guys see, I already have a series of an audio space that I call the Velvet Space, where we actually dove deeper into the movie The Black Panther. But tonight, we're going to delve in deeper about why Black Panther 2 is having so many issues right now, okay? I mean, from people testing positive for the C word, can't say that on YouTube, people actually getting life-threatening injuries, speculations of hypnosis that was going on, and then of course, unfortunately, losing their lives. And I don't want to say that was because of the film, but we're just gonna speculate a little bit about the different things that has been occurring since the release of the Black Panther movie, and why it's important to look at all the dynamics of the situation and ask ourselves, what is it about this movie that, one, it's publicly known for everybody to see that, things behind the scenes seems to be falling apart, and I don't know if these are publicity stunts or not. And then two, is it cursed? And I've heard the different theories about, is this movie cursed? Was it not supposed to happen? Are they playing with too many spirituality systems? And of course, I'm going to run my theory, as I am an American born and raised. So I'm going to have my indigenous perspective about what I think is going on, but I don't know. So it's just speculations about what exactly is happening with Marvel's Black Panther 2. So as you see here on the screen, a while ago I did a thread on Twitter, actually a few months ago, where I actually put out my thoughts into words. Now these are things that I've been vocal about before, but I said, let me make a Twitter thread, as I do my Twitter fingers. I wanted to put out there, just some things to start looking at. So let's talk about the curse of Wakanda. Wakanda, where is Wakanda? Wakanda. We're going to get into that. All right. So I'm going to read briefly my thread, and then we're going to just speculate a little bit, we're just speculating, because we really don't want any more people to get hurt if this is a production that just probably should not happen. Maybe just not right now. Okay. So I went on to start off with saying, with the popularity of the Black Panther movie, the name Wakanda has been associated with a high-tech African city. The reality is Wakanda is a holy place with a great spirit that resonates with it. And very weird circumstances are surrounding the movie now. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna scroll, I'm gonna show you my entire Twitter thread so you can see, just exactly what was going on. So I went on to go right here. Wakanda, or Wakanda, is an American Indian spiritual higher power. Wakanda Springs is a location in Illinois of a large saltwater spring that was believed to have spiritual and healing powers. The spirit of an Indian chief's daughter is believed to dwell in the springs as well. So, like I said, this is a real place in North America. And a matter of fact, there are multiple Wakandas, literally multiples. And it was even said that when the movie came out, people were actually trying to visit these Wakandas because they felt it was talking about this Wakanda, but the people of the towns of Wakandas were saying, no, they're talking about an African Wakanda. Well, the African Wakanda doesn't exist, but I'm gonna keep scrolling through my thread. I'm gonna keep scrolling. So the Pawnee is a tribe, for those who don't know. The Pawnee recognized a dozen sacred places in Nebraska and Kansas. Nearly all were associated with water, known as, quote unquote, out, holy ground. Wakanda Springs was thought to mark the location of an underwater lodge where animals of many species gathered and held council. And let me just say this, I have the book. I'm going to actually post the book so you have to see. Um, you guys should definitely check this out. It's a real place. It has real spiritual meanings behind it. Trust me, I wouldn't delve myself deep into something if I knew it was false or I felt it was too mythological, okay? So here you have it with some of the neighboring tribes who have acknowledged that this is a spiritual place here in North America. And to put it somewhere else where it's not located, let's keep going though. Let's keep going through my Twitter thread. Many have predicted that the production of the Black Panther movie would cease or have major difficulties. Some believed it was because they were using various African spiritualities for the film, but I speculate that it's because of the colonization of a holy ground. And the reason why I came to this conclusion was because, number one, like I said, Wakandas or the Wakandas are a real place. All right. Number two, American Indians, not all tribes, but American Indians do use Wakanda at the end of their prayer. Instead of saying amen, they may say Wakanda, which is another way to say the Great Spirit. Thank you. Right. And then number three, right? Number three would be that while we're dealing with the fact with colonization, what's happened inside, especially the most popular famous Wakanda that's in Illinois, is that the mystical springs is drying up, literally, as we speak. So there is a environmental crisis that's happening, and the people who have built their little houses around it in the community, I don't know if they're doing enough to actually preserve this particular location. And a few tribes have actually grown concerned with what's going on with the sacred waters that were here before the arrival of foreigners. So this is something that's very serious, because as the waters continue to dry up in America, we have to ask ourselves, what else are we going to be affected by with that? And water is life. And just imagine about the mystical waters like Wakanda, Lake Minnetonka, and I know you guys heard Prince use that before, the famous movie, but Lake Minnetonka, what about the Finger Lakes up there in New York State, right? All of these great waters all around, the fountains of youth that the Europeans were looking for are right here. But what happens when they disappear? Well, let's get into more about the Black Panther movie and what are some unforeseen things that's been happening since they started to film Black Panther 2. So first runner-up, let's go with Letitia Wright. Letitia Wright, and she is from the country of Guyana. So shout out to my West Indians, my Guyanese people out there. And the poor sister did suffer some life-threatening injuries that actually halted the production of Black Panther 2, right? And in fact, there's a new article that just came out actually detailing what happened to her as she was trying to perform the stunt. So articles like this right here, it shows proof that there were onset injuries that actually forced the halt of production. And not only that, also Letitia was actually protesting the C word, V word, okay? Yeah, that was a big deal. And she was refusing to have to give up her sovereignty, her rights to her body, just to be inside of a film. Now, I don't know if she ever came around to just finally just get that shot or whatever, but I know that was also part of one of her protests, which actually also halted the Black Panther filming right now. All right. So you'll see here, I'm going to quickly read. It says, Wright, 28, was injured back in August while filming a sequence for the Marvel sequel involving a stunt rig on a location in Boston. She has since been recovering at home in London as the director Ryan Coogler continued to film around Wright's scenes. So it says months since Wright's injury, Coogler and his crew have reportedly filmed all footage possible without her, ultimately deciding to resume shooting at the top of 2022. So as you see, this was another great setback, as we know that her character is supposed to lead the way. Now that unfortunately the Black Panther, or the main character who was portraying Black Panther, is gone, right? So what do you do when the next princess that comes in line that's supposed to play the next big role gets injured? And this is not just a regular injury, life-threatening injuries. I think that's very serious, but that's just case study number one. So the next case study is no other than director Ryan Coogler, who was mistaken for being a bank robber at the Bank of America. Now, this was such a weird story when I actually first saw it come out. I was like, are you serious right now? But apparently, the fact that he had on, I guess, baggy clothes, which are athletic clothes, he had on a mask, he had on sunglasses, he had a hat on, and I guess because his skin's a little too dark, he looked like he was supposed to be a bank robber. But this is also just a weird situation to find yourself in. But I guess maybe it's believable, being that we do have to wear these masks everywhere we have to go, at least back then during the pandemic. So Bank of America actually had to apologize to the director after this situation, right? It says Mr. Coogler, best known for directing Black Panther, had handed a teller a withdrawal slip on January 7th, asking for more than $10,000, with a note on the back asking her to be discreet when handing him the cash. So I'm going to assume that that little note is really what made a red alarm go off, right? Because if you think about it, if you have a guy, he has glasses on, he has a mask on, you can't really see his face, so you don't know that this is actually a celebrity or whoever it is, but they want a certain amount of money, and not on top of that, not just the money, but they are asking you to be discreet about it. I don't know. I can't say what I would do in a situation like that. But once again, this is one of the weird situations that Mr. Ryan Coogler did find himself into as a director. And of course, this will also put a little bit of a stink on the Black Panther movie. Now, case study number 3 is, of course, Mr. Daniel. And this situation is another weird thing that just came out the blue once again, is that he met a woman that many of his family and friends are concerned about. So I'm going to read a little bit about what I said, and I'm going to take you to the articles that are kind of rumored about who this mysterious woman is, and could she be a part of the reason why he's not returning to the Black Panther franchise. It says, a strained relationship with a life strategist. It said he recently fired his entire team because of her and doesn't make any decisions without her. And guess what? Interesting enough, they met on the set of the Black Panther, and some are even rumoring that it seems like he's underneath a spell, right? So let's look at the news article. This is from over there at the Madame Noir website. And once again, his camp is very confused about who this woman is that he met on the Black Panther set. I can't imagine that no one knows who this woman is. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no way the crew doesn't know. Like, nobody knows who she is. She just kind of just popped up out of nowhere, and she just took his heart or just took his breath. I have no idea. But pretty much she actually went on to defend herself on her Instagram page. You'll see right here. It says she posted on her story her Instagram account, and she shared screenshots of the article, and she basically said, like, don't believe it, don't believe the hype, right? She's even denied being around Daniel. She said she would love to work with him, but I don't know. Family and friends is rumored to be concerned about this woman.
So
if you hear the article about Daniel not
Daniel
returning to
has
Black Panther
also
2, now the excuse that they have
decided not to return to the Black
he's
Panther
kind of
franchise,
already
right?
committed to
So let's
Jordan
check that out,
Peele's
bro.
upcoming horror film called Nope. But I don't know. I don't know. It just seems like there's a lot of bad blood that's been happening on the set with a lot of different people. I don't know. I don't know. Okay. But I'm gonna assume that there isn't any contract that you have to be in all the franchises. Like I know some DC and Marvel films, and even some franchises make sure they have contracts to make sure people do return. But in this situation, I guess this is a weird case of just, that's it. Weird women, weird ending. That's that. Case number 4, of course, is the Black Panther star himself, T'Challa, which was Chadwick Boseman. And unfortunately, he did pass away at the young age of 43. As we know, it was from sort of an illness with cancer. But once again, he was supposed to be returning for Black Panther 2, and unfortunately, we know how that ended, right? So that's that. Case number 5 is Miss Lupita, and unfortunately, baby girl did test positive for the C word, and it did halt production again. So we have life-threatening injuries, we have people leaving the cast, we have so far an actual death that occurred. Yeah, that's a lot to happen, but I believe that she is doing well now. And of course, last but not least, case number 6 will be Michael B. Jordan. And this is just about the fact that he had a terrible time transitioning out of his Killmonger role. And I think that what people have to remember about acting is that you literally have to take on the spirit of the character that you're playing. And this character actually has stuck with him. And it's even rumored that he's kind of still in character for Killmonger. This reminds me of the Joker. We know that when Heath Ledger was Joker, it is even rumored that he couldn't get out of character either. So when you're taking on these entities to portray something outward to other people, what a lot of people don't understand that behind closed doors, you never really quite come out that role. So Michael B. Jordan did suffer some mental issues that now might be long lasting, being that he did play the character of Killmonger. All right, so that's my quick wrap up of some of the things that's been going on with the Black Panther movie. And like I said, we're going to keep an eye out on this because I'm really interested in seeing the Black Panther 2. I thought Black Panther 1 was really good. Even I didn't like some of the undertones. Of course, a lot of these modern day movies have a lot of undertones in them. But nonetheless, the way how it was shot, the costumes, everything about it, it was really good. I wish we can get more American, when I mean American, I mean indigenous American-based films that deal with people that actually look like some of the original people that were here back in the 1500s that were of my hue, melanin. But maybe it's gonna have to take us to step into the plate and do that. But nonetheless, I hope you guys check out my Black Panther and America's breakdown, where we had our audio space. What we did broke down basically my analogy about the Black Panther being from America, or the real Black Panther, the real king and the real emperor and the real empire was right here in America, right in the real Wakandas. Okay, so I'll see you next time. You can like, subscribe, and comment below. What do you think about these situations that are happening? And do you plan on seeing Black Panther 2? If you do, buy a ticket to me and I'll meet you there. All right, good night.